Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to some late night Hypermine Vanilla. We're working on the tower, and we're working on this path, and we're just like working on things and stuff, and more things and stuff. Alright. Yeah. Okay, I've got enough things. So I've done a little bit of work in here. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm really happy actually with this stair design. It just works out so well. It's just perfect. So we're going to replicate it on the other side. I'll show you. It's really quite simple, really. It's just pop, 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 pop. It's a W. W. And then it's just repeat the W's all the way up. And you see, this one gets eaten up by this. But then as we go up now, it just sort of works out perfectly. Panda's on. Let's see. Working on. So let's not shout. Okay, and then we hit this bit over here. It's like beep beep beep. I think this one works out exactly the same way. It's like just the short one and then W's all the way up. So it matches no matter where you go. It's all pretty good. We will have to work on the inside of this tower because... And the outside for sure. It's really bland. I mean, I know the idea was that it was the first thing that they built when they got here. And it was all, we don't have very many materials and we're all, gotta build whatever. But, you know, as time goes on, you sort of expand on these things. And what I'm really keen for is to put windows where we can. Don't like that that's like that. Can we? How quickly do you get to the other side? I may have to think about that one. I think on the side as well, it's like just the floor's right here, so we can just push through. And there is going to be another floor. However, I haven't quite worked out how it is that floor is actually going to get there. So yeah, there's that to think about. Making sure it's all lit, looking pretty good. No, that is not what we wanted at all. There's way more glowstone than we actually need, but I think you'll agree the effect is actually pretty nice. And I also did a little design in the floor. It's not too bad. It's alright. It's alright. See, the thing with this floor is that it's because it's sunk down. I can't really do any lighting here. So I was thinking about from the ceiling just having fences come down into sort of chandeliers down, but that means I'll have to finish the top. I don't know how much of this I would actually need to cut away. Let's take a look here. It's not as much as I thought, actually. Just carve a little valley bit into here. Ooh, that was laggy. Huh. Ha! So if I kind of valley across here into here, need to go and re-enchant my stuff. Actually, I've got a diamond shovel for this. What am I doing? So yeah, cut out like windows on the sides and give the sides some more depth. So this works out over here as well, because that just kind of opens up into that. Anyway, as you saw in the last video, we got some new folk on the server. Torbray and Phineas and Voodoo Beard, all pretty cool YouTubers, so go check them out. Speedy Spider, Speedy. What we have to do now is work out how we're going to do this. This is obviously got to be all in covered. I'm happy for it to be a sort of external type tunnel, where the design is based on it being open, essentially. But then I wonder if maybe going for these pillars up there as well is an option. I'm not sure. Maybe we can do something a little bit more elaborate. So let's have a quick thought about this. If we, well, I want to do something with this because this is not good. I replace you with you. Get away. You. Yeah, well, we'll have to cover this up at some point. Well, actually, we need to sort something else for this roof. Because it obviously needs to go up at the sort of similar pace to this, which means we will need to build a bit of the mountain. Well, that's sort of the plan, anyway. Sort of the plan. Yeah, anyway, let's go back up here. So the nice thing about this over here is that... Oh, actually... This may need to wait up till here, so we can probably build something... We can do the tower up to here. Well, the walkway up to here. But this may have to wait until we finish, or at least build the wall and dome up to this area. Yeah, I think that will have to wait, and we'll have to do something else. So I'm going to have a brainstorm about possible ideas for this walkway, or how it's going to look. And in the meantime, I'm going to cut away here and maybe work on designs for this as well. Oh, and fix up down here. Make this a little bit better, and maybe do something in the ceiling as well. I had a thought that I might try and implement. Interesting. There's options, lots of options. Alright, so I'm gonna have a play around, and when we come back, well, I'll have done some work, and we will build the tunnel. Alright, status update on things. Alright, so I've started to build up the wall here, so I would have an idea of how things were going to pan out. There is a slight problem. I haven't been able to work out a decent way to get the dome as it goes in, which is problematic, considering that's basically the most vital piece, is figuring out how to get this dome in. So it's been a bit of a tough one so far. I had a couple of ideas, and I've been playing around with it, something similar. I've been utilising plots just to play around with it, see what I can figure out. And my circle's actually a bit of an odd shape. It's not the most efficient possible shape for this size circle. This bit here is not the most efficient. It gives it a nice sort of ellipsoid shape, but it's not exact. So there's like a little rounding error on the circle. Which causes problems if you use things like plots or mine conics. it confuses them. It doesn't work out. I think this one works out in Mineconics, but not in plots. So it's a difficult one. But aside from that, we have also worked on a couple of other things. Get off. We've worked on the inside of here a little bit. So as you can see, we now have windows. I'll try to show you those in a minute. And this hanging light sculptures, I'm thinking about doing something a little bit extra with them. And we also have the ceiling now, which... yeah, it's kind of bland. The whole problem I have with this tower at the minute is that it is kind of bland. And I'm not sure if I want to change the inside of the tower too much. Maybe keep that bland and add some detail to the outside to make it a little bit less bland out there. Give it a little bit more depth and life. But if you... yeah, so you probably can't hear a cat, but she's yelling at me about asking her. Getting my design consultant in. Yeah, so we got the windows here, and I've taken them a block out just to help with that depth issue, which does it works out really well. It's these bits that need a little bit of help. And oh yeah, and I've completely stripped away this side of the mountain and rebuilt it, so that now it at least sort of hides the area underneath and makes it look a little bit more natural. The idea is that you couldn't possibly tell that this was built without consideration for the land around it. There we go. And this one, I've carved out the channel, so they wanted a view, so they carved it out. They made a view where they wanted one. Other things to update. So it's a couple of days later now, so I've just been milling around, mostly because of the cap bit, the thingy on the top here, and how that fits into this actual tunnel, which hasn't been decided yet. So I've been working on things whilst I do that. I quite like this one. You can't see much out there, so I'm thinking I might cut away a couple of layers over here to give you more visibility of the valley down below. One thing that Kat pointed out to me whilst we were working on this previously is that this area over here is just really murky. Even with the glowstone in the floor, it doesn't look inviting. So we added the lava to the ceiling rather than any lighting behind the pillars, to give it a little bit more life and lift. Haven't really done anything else here at the minute. I was going to borrow Drax's beacon, but apparently that's gone missing. We may need to start an inquisition to find it. I'm going to do a little bit more work with this sort of hanging chandelier thing, have things go between it, and then from here just have a plain staircase that goes up into the top, and have the top of this tower be sort of a watchtower. So that would be its original purpose, and they've just sort of built onto it over the years. So the top is going to be slightly different. It will come out a bit from the edge, which I think will look pretty cool. Still undecided on this. I'm thinking what I will do is I will build... How far is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I'm thinking if I build out to here a tunnel for this, I can always match it up. And I just need to measure from here to here. But luckily I can just go straight over from this entrance here. So I think that's 6 up. Or is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so okay, that's 5 up. Which is a little bit less than here, but that allows me to sort of open it up as we come into this. Options, folks. Lots of things we can do. So I'm going to carry on brainstorming, and once I have a design that I'm happy with, I will come back to you. Oh, righty then. So, I had to think, I had to play, I had to think. Played a bit more. Thought a bit more. Oh yeah, I replaced the torches over here. I did play around with getting lava all the way up here, but it caused some issues. Small issues. Tiny issues, really. With what went on upstairs. Getting a bit of a funny look. Looking good. So I did actually work on this bit here, and I'm quite happy with what we came up with. I'm going to use a lot more of this polished andesite. I actually really like that. It works as such a nice little contrast without going all the way to that. So, but here's what we did. Oh, no. I need to get more of the blue wool because that's what the lava caused. Slight issues. Slight issues. So this goes all the way to the end here. And then we need to work on the dome. So that's the next bit. I can't really continue much more here until we start to build that and dig out all of this rubbish over here whilst we build that. So that causes some issues. And then there's another little side bit over here that's going to go straight up. But that's going to be more of an entrance, a little bit laid back into it. Maybe move it over here. But this gives me a good idea of whereabouts I'm actually coming out up at the top. So yeah, I'm quite happy with this. Oh yeah, we're going to take a look at the outside as well. Because obviously this is going to be supported by the mountainside, as you can see over here. All supported. And then we have to have these pillars. Yep. More Pillarcraft. So I've been speaking to Kat, and we're gonna play around with some designs for the outside of this tower, and then we're gonna build the top of the tower as well, which is more of a watchtower part. That's the actual watchtower bit. And I'm really happy with how this raised walkway came out, especially the sides of it. So if I could just come up here. It looks like you'll have a bit of a chill when you're in there. But I think it worked out near enough perfectly. What I really wanted is we've got the torches here. But what I really wanted was to be able to have the stairs on the outside and then the torches on the walls themselves, but that doesn't work. See? It just goes straight onto the log. Which is really unfortunate. It would have been awesome if we could have had that. But I'm still pretty happy with what we did get. So next time on the show, I know this episode's a little bit shorter than usual. Next time I will have started to work on this, and we'll build the top of the tower, and we may actually work downstairs or on the nether entrance and get some more stuff done. Yes, Kimmy, I agree. I still try to block gravity. Yeah, can work a bit on here, clear out this area, and start to work on the offshoots and what's going to happen there. So thanks for watching, everybody. You've been a fantastic audience as always, and I will see you next time. Adios.